hold on tight. 'Cause you know tomorrow may not bring that same thing that you said last night. Woo! Every time I find a little peace of mind, I hold on tight. 'Cause tomorrow may not bring the very same thing. No, no, no. Said none of the right there. You that care all. Just for me, I'm so glad that you that care all. Just for me, I'm so glad that you that care all. For a sinner like me. Well, hello, Janie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
So glad that you're here with us today and you're willing to share your story. I know a little bit about what's going on, what you're going to inform our audience about today. But can you start us off?
I met my current husband actually on Match.com, and it was like inevitable because we kind of knew each other like before we even met each other.
Wait. You met on what?
Match.com.
Okay. Match.com. I just wanted to hear that. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. So you met on Match.com.
And it was meant to be. We actually had grown up in the same town but never met each other. We went to the same school together, never met each other, went to the same college. We worked in the same school districts. But as I like to say, God put him in the right place at the right time for me. He knew when the best time was for me to meet Brett.
When is it that you started noticing things happening to your physical body?
Probably January of like 2020, I was having, which I thought was restless leg syndrome, and I was having cramps and things like that in my thighs, and I kept going back to the doctor, and I thought it was I have fibromyalgia, and they really couldn't like figure it out, and they kept just doing some blood work and things like that until it progressed where I wasn't able to walk as well. My gait changed. It was struggling to walk. I couldn't get upstairs, things like that. And actually, when my husband, now we were dating, he brought me to Costa Rica, and I struggled. There was 1,000 plus stairs to get up to the top, to the rainforest, to see the waterfall.
You're trying to go up how many feet?
Over 1,000 stairs to get to the top.
But at this time, you just noticed cramping, and the doctors really hadn't diagnosed anything, but you're going up here to this waterfall, and okay, go ahead, tell us about that.
So I persevered, and I got up there. My husband and our guide kind of like waited, and I took little by little and got up there, and it was well worth it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful, and it was well worth it. But then it was a struggle coming back down because my legs were tired and weak at that point. And so my husband, at his vow, had said he considers me his warrior, that he feels that because I had, went up those 1,000 plus stairs, I didn't complain, I struggled, I fought, I won, and that's how I feel with the whole ALS diagnosis. Is I'm going to continue to fight. I'm going to continue to win. I'm going to continue to have a positive attitude. I'm, very grateful for everything I have. I look at every day with gratitude, and I thank God each day for a new day.
Amen, amen, amen. So you was up on the mountain, you came down, and your husband started nicknaming you and everything already. And neither one
Right.
of you all really knew, but he saw something in you that was remarkable.
Yeah, exactly. He knew I was struggling with my legs, but we didn't know what was going on. But he was just like, okay, and I'm stubborn, he's stubborn. So I think that's part of it all, and I'm like,
Wow.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get up there. I've never had been out of the country. It was the first time I'd ever been out of the country, saw such beautiful views, and I didn't want to be like not be able to do those things. And so I persevered, and I won the battle with my legs, and did not know I had ALS at the time.
Every time you say that, it just kind of jolts me. And your courage that you're showing and your willingness to face it the way you're facing it is quite remarkable. So we come down from the hill. How did this marriage thing start? You all weren't married at that time, were you?
No, we were dating. And when I got my diagnosis back in December 22nd, 2021, I said to Brett, I said, I'm giving you out. I know this is not what you signed up for, because this is going to be a very long, difficult journey with me. And I get touched up every time I say it. And he said, no, I signed up. When I swiped right, I signed up for all of you, not part of you. I love all of you. So I'm here for the long, journey. I'll pick you up when you fall, things like that. So, and he's been remarkable. He's been remarkable.
That's why we just have to have a little word from that brother there. Okay? Because, I mean, you're right. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. A lot of times, people run from things. But it seemed like you all in that spirit and being with each other, same town, same school, that energy, some kind of way finally connected. And here we go. So, tell a little bit about the engagement, a little bit about the wedding.
So the engagement, like with Brett and I, we always say there's always some kind of something that happens, right? He actually wanted to propose. We were supposed to go to Amsterdam, planning to propose.
Okay.
But then Amsterdam had closed down because of, COVID. So my husband, my boyfriend at the time, quickly rearranged and got us to Cancun, Mexico. And, I had gotten the diagnosis. We literally left within 48 hours to Cancun. And my doctor said, just go, relax, enjoy the beach, try to put the ALS out of your brain, which I cried a couple times, but I listened to my ALS doctor, and I really just looked at the ocean, the sunsets, the sunrises, spending time with Brett, the beauty of everything, and just was like, I'm going to be thankful for everything and gratitude for the beauty that I had seen. So anyway, we ended up going on a beautiful excursion that had turquoise water and everything. And it was my speed, because I'm not really a swimmer. you literally walk in, and Brett was, holding my hand, because it was really wavy and choppy that day. And he looked all very nervous, and I'm like, what's going on? And, he tried to get down on one knee in the water, and, he asked me to marry him. And I said, of course, and it was one of his mom's rings. It was not the actual wedding ring, but he was so nervous, he was pushing it on my finger, and it actually was too small, got caught on my finger.
Wait a minute.
So,
the ring was too small, but he's gonna make that ring fit. And one other thing you said, you couldn't go where you wanted to go because of COVID, and within 48 hours, my man and rearranged everything, and now you're sitting in Cancun.
yeah, we went to Cancun.
Wow.
And
Gotta talk to this brother.
he rearranged everything. And so he surprised me when we first got engaged and said, we're going to go to Paris, because I've always wanted to go to Paris, and I've always wanted to see the Eiffel Tower. And I'm French, and I'm a little bit of Irish as well. So he said, we're going to go to Dublin as well. He's such a fantastic man that he pushed me everywhere in Paris and Dublin during the day with the actual manual wheelchair. And it was tough for him, pushing, because you're talking, gravel, you're talking cobblestone, you're talking brick roads, uneven, you cross the street and you have to, go up. He had his work cut out for him, and every day he pushed me. In the evening, he rented me a power scooter, so that way he could take a break, and I could kind of like be a little bit more independent, and we'd go shopping and things like go to dinner and things like that. So that's that one. There's a picture of me in the scooter because again, that was like my fun way of getting around. And then I cried, actually. I had happy tears when we got to the top of the Eiffel Tower because it had always been my dream. And even though my physical ability is limited, he made it possible by having me be able to get up there. And I cried because I was like, this is a dream that come true. He started crying because I cried. It was just phenomenal feeling to be
I have
there.
to talk to my man. We're going to have to put him on. We're going to have to put him on Right With You. But he's a firefighter, a bull rider. He's not going to quit. He is not going to quit.
There was a picture of us with the Mona Lisa. That was kind of a shock to both of us. In Paris, we didn't realize if you're handicapped, you're able to go ahead of the line. And so they called Brett and I over and we're like, what's going on? They're like, no, you're not supposed to be waiting in line. And we're like, what? And they actually cut us in front of the line, and we got to go behind the partition, and we got up really close and personal to Mona Lisa. So we're kind of like, what's going on? And afterwards, after we were let out, I started crying again. I said, oh my gosh, I was just touched by the human kindness and consideration for somebody that has a disability made possible by my husband. I would have never been able to view and go to Paris to see all the beautiful castles that we saw in Ireland, Dublin. And that was a hard feat for him too, getting up, the gravel, up hills, pushing me down steep hills. He persevered. I persevered 1,000 steps. He persevered pushing me in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he the man, okay? He the man right now. Well, guess what? I have found Brett himself. Brett is right here with us. How you doing today, Brett?
I'm doing great.
We've heard a lot about you. We've heard so much about you and how fabulous you are. And I just wanted to take the time to personally say, you're one hell of a guy.
I appreciate that. Just a man doing a thing.
You're doing a great thing that a lot of men, we could learn from you. Okay, I also hear that you are a bull rider.
I've done a few things. Yes, I've been a firefighter. I've attempted to ride bulls. I don't know about bull riding. Ate a lot of dirt. Just got to be faster than that bull. You got to run to the gate. That's all I can tell you. So, and
Yeah.
It's a young man's game.
That's a young man's sport, that bull riding.
Yes, sir.
Brett, what we're calling you for is, what is it that made you commit even after knowing?
Always been a caretaker. Brought up that way, in a different kind of way. In this, I did love her. I knew that. And when I saw her last year in Costa Rica, we went down there and she took 1,000 steps down to go see a waterfall and 1,000 steps up stairs. And she was hurting a little bit, but she made it. And a year later, she's in a wheelchair. December, she was diagnosed. And all she says was, I'm going to fight. Well, she did. She fought through them stairs. So if she's willing to fight for it, I should be willing to fight for it. So I guess that's just a character and something within myself. And hopefully many other people would have that within them and just have it kind of drawn out. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And, it's given me to give up a few things, but it's worth it in the end, I think. So to answer your question, I can't really put a pinpoint on it. If I could, I would market it. But the fact of the matter is, it's got to be something inside you. So I do appreciate that. Those are all high compliments. I don't know about courage. Courage and stupidity. There's a fine line. That's what I've learned sometimes, and that's okay. So sometimes you got to be stupid to be courageous. So, but always being outside of the box, whatever it may be. I mean, you mentioned why would I do this? Well, I'm not a flower guy, but the fact of the matter is, if you plant flower in a garden and it starts to wilt a little bit, what are you going to do? You're going to water, you're going to take care of it, nurture it, because eventually come back to life and strength. And that could happen to Janie at any moment. So again, she's the flower, and then of course it will blossom into a magnificent rose.
I thank you. We love you. We're going to be praying with you.
Thank you.
And I really do appreciate you taking a little time. I know she has not heard or seen this interview at all, so it should be a pleasant surprise. And thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You know, he was very nervous because he had planned on proposing, not that I knew about it, but he had that plan to propose over Christmas break. And he proposed on December 30th, 2021. And so we were like, oh, you know, as soon as we got back to the States, that ring was stuck to my finger. We were trying to get it like cut off in Cancun, Mexico. They were saying $1,000 to get it cut off because they didn't have the tools. So literally, like, my husband used to be a firefighter, so we lived next to the fire station. We had to have a EMT come over on January 1st and actually cut off the wedding ring, or I'm sorry, the engagement ring.
Wait, Janie? You mean you came back and you literally couldn't get the ring off your finger? The ring didn't want to go nowhere. That's all.
You can see in the photo, my finger's pretty swollen. We tried everything, like everybody said, ice and like the string method, and literally we tried everything. And so I was like, I was a trooper. I just kept ice in my finger, and I was like, oh, we'll just take care of it in the States, which we ended up doing. And then when we got home, I got my beautiful ring that he, you know, actually the real engagement ring, which was his mother's ring. And unfortunately, I don't have it today because we're getting it appraised right now. But it was his mother's wedding ring, and he said, let's get married on Valentine's Day to honor his parents. So we got married at the courthouse on February 14, 2022, with my 2 boys and my daughter-in-law. We decided that that was going to be our wedding day, and it was kind of, you know, really a fast turnaround. But some of our thoughts was, was still able to walk, I'm still able to talk, because with ALS, you don't know the progression, how fast it will take you. So we were saying it's very important. I was able to still, you know, even with a cane, I was still able to walk down the aisle and have, you know, use my voice and to be able to, you know, say my vows and things like that. So February 14th, we had our first wedding. And then we decided we were going to renew our vows in front of family and friends. And so we just had our second wedding. Now, which woman can say they got married twice within a few months, but I did. And so June 4th, 2022, we had gotten married in front of all of our family and friends. And my boys walked me down the aisle because I do struggle with walking. And so they gave me away at the altar. So that was very, very special.
Amen.
And then I was crying. Because he was saying, he calls me his fierce warrior. He'd seen firsthand me walking up the 1,000 stairs, unbeknownst to us a year ago that I actually had ALS. But he calls me his fierce warrior, and that, you know, I continue to surprise him each and every day. So because of blue roses being a symbol of, you know, impossibility, miracles, mystery. I actually had, you know, the tattooed on my wrist because I wanted to be an ALS conversation piece and awareness for others. So when they see my tattoo, wow, you know, it's, you know, blue rose, that's very unique. So I wanted to not only be a conversation piece to educate others about ALS, but it's also hope for me, because I look at it and I look at its beauty, and I remind myself that there is possibility, there is miracles. And so that is why I got the blue tattoo with the blue roses on my wrist.
Okay, and what are those other things on your wrist?
Okay, so these are actually, it's considered a bracelet. So I had like the top beads, which is the ALS color is white, and then on the bottom some jewels, so that way just the beauty of it all. And my hand is pretty bad. So I try not to, focus on my hand, the atrophy. I focus on the beauty of the blue rose and hope.
Amen. Okay. I heard that not only did this remarkable man do that, but I heard he made a couple of items for you and the whole guest of all the guests for the whole wedding.
T-shirt, and actually he made a huge flag that I did not see, and it said, fierce warrior, and he designed the two swords, and in the middle it says ALS, and my first words to him is, I'm going to fight. So he designed this T-shirt, and actually the T-shirt's for the wedding party, but he had right where we were dancing for our first dance, the flag was up behind us. And then he made a flag for in front of our home, so that's up front. Made bracelets that are purple because our wedding colors were purple. And it says, fierce warrior, ALS, I'm going to fight. And he gave those to every single person at our wedding. His just profound, touched by me, being that I'm so positive and I have the will to fight. And he feels I'm very strong. So
you are very strong. You are very, very strong. I mean, I can't wrap my mind around it. Do you mind sharing just a little bit past the wedding, maybe a little bit of what you deal with, what you're really facing, and then get into the ALS with your son and how you all are dealing with that?
Yes, definitely was devastating news. I get touched up every time I think about it. We really didn't know what was going on. We thought, oh, maybe it was MS because my nephew has MS. But when, you're sitting there in the office and you get the diagnosis, you're just like, what? You're like shocked. My doctor, Dr. Piero, amazing doctor. Again, I think God put him in that path to meet me because I actually had been on a wait list. And they had just recruited Dr. Piero from Cleveland Clinic. And he said, no, she's high priority. I want to see her. So literally, I only had to wait a week. I cried for like 2 hours. And he sat there knee to knee with me, answered my girlfriend's questions because she was like, that was not the news we expected. Very patient, very loving man. And I really feel God put him in my path. Because he's just been phenomenal. So we got the diagnosis, and again, I told him I want everything. I said, I will do trial meds, I will do genetic testing, I will do whatever it is that needs to prolong my life, because I'm not going to take this lightly. I'm going to be a fighter, and I'm going to win. Actually, I have Radicava, I have infusions that I get. It's a 14-day cycle. Every month I have to do 10 infusions within 14 days, and then I rest 14 days. That gives me 33% to improve my progression, to slow it down. But then I also take an oral pill, and that is to slow the progression 10%. So not only have a chance of 43% slow progression, I am actually up for a clinical trial. I'm actually going down to Northwestern on August 24th to do some preclinical stuff. And again, that's another infusion that would be weekly, and it's a 6-month clinical trial.
Excuse me, when you say infusions, could you just elaborate on that just a little bit?
What ALS is, it is actually a full body. And what it does, some people start with the bulbar, which is in the throat and the breathing. Mine started with, they call it lumbar, which means my feet. So because of my walking issues. So now it's moved to my hand and things like that. But so basically it's to slow the progression, because eventually what's happening is all my muscles and nerves are dying and atrophy. And so it's to slow that progression down, so that way I can live longer and hopefully my breathing right now. And I really feel faith. Back in December, when they checked my pulmonary breathing function, my lungs were aged at 81 years old. And Dr. Piora told me to do what's called step breathing to increase, my lungs and work on my diaphragm. In April, My lungs improved to 77 years old. I'm only 55. So I just went last week and my lung function improved to 76 years old. So I'm taking that as, God's working.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's not like a plus to me.
Exactly.
That's a plus to me. That was some I never even knew that could work like that. That there was a slow down process. You're willing to go through new technologies.
Yeah, they want to do some spinal tap, things like that, just trying to get the research behind it because they do not know what causes ALS. More and more people are being diagnosed with it. They don't know if it's environmental, it's genes. I had gene testing done. I had 2 genes that mutated, but not enough to cause the ALS. So I'm called sporadic ALS. They have no idea why I got ALS. And a lot of people have the sporadic ALS. And most people are diagnosed within their 50s, but there are children that are young that actually have ALS at a young age. So we really need to get the research and we really need to find a cure. There is no cure for ALS. It's just what we have right now to slow down the process.
I believe in miracles. Mm-hmm. I really do. The Lord has opened doors for me. The Lord has shown me many miracles. For some reason, talking with you and to you, I believe there's a miracle in store for you.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, Janie.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Anytime.
Okay. Well, another episode of Where Were You? And we would like to thank our guests for this evening. Also want to thank New Me. New Me helped sponsor Where Were You? So go on and check it out. New Me /Arkway. Also, go on and hit that like. Go on and hit subscribe. Go on and hit that share. Go on and leave a comment. And if you find anyone that has a story, let me know. And hey, you bless someone today.